Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom. This beautiful path, this beautiful space, this beautiful adventure where we get to set ourselves free, where we get to give ourselves permission to soar, to shine, to glow like never before, like ever before, where we get to release and let go of that which no longer serves, where we get to move ourselves into vibrational alignment with the good that we experience, that we wish to experience over and over and over again, where we get to forever allow thus for ever greater and grander expressions of who and what we are to emerge, where we get to allow for transformation to happen over and over again. There is I sometimes say that we get to transform our lives forever and for the better over and over again. And that is exactly what we're doing as we are turning our attention toward our minds, as we are beginning to challenge, as we are beginning to become aware of what is no longer serving us, the thought forms, the emotions, the habits, and thus begin to release and let these go so that something new may emerge in their place. Transformation happens over and over again, just like that caterpillar that moves into the chrysalis, that goes through the metamorphosis, emerging as a butterfly. Only the caterpillar does it once and then it's done. We are not done, but we are always, if we're walking this path, we're always on the verge of our next level. We're always at the bottom of our next level. So there's always that next great and grand version of who and what we are seeking to be revealed, to be expressed on this eternal, never-ending journey. So welcome. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and as always, and I'm very happy and I'm very grateful and I'm very honored and I'm very privileged that you are choosing to tune in, that you're choosing to join me into this space here today, whenever and wherever you are. So that was a long introduction, and we haven't even got to the topic, and I may even have forgotten the topic because of this long introduction. The topic is something about something along the lines, we need to be it and we need to choose from it. I believe that's the topic for today. We need to be it and we need to choose from it. And this obviously has to do with this transformation that we are participating in. This has to do with how we need to, as we begin to articulate and describe the good that we wish to experience. It may be something in our own lives, or it may be, as is very relevant right now in the world, where so much is happening, where so much is coming to the surface. There's so much stuff, wars and injustice and violence and greed, and a very limited narrative is being expressed in us and through the collective human consciousness. And as we begin to articulate and describe what it is that we wish to experience in the world, in our lives, just articulating and describing it is not enough. Just having a vision around it is not enough. But we need to move ourselves into the feeling tone that it is already here. We need to feel that it is already here. It is our feelings that emit our most powerful vibrations, right? So if we are moving through life, if we are moving through the world, having a vision, but constantly reacting, resisting that which is, actually I just caught the other day another topic, which goes resistance birth persistence. You may have heard that statement, what we resist persists. So as we are moving through the world, and as we're moving along the path of manifestation, be it a personal manifestation or a collective manifestation, ultimately it's only one. So whenever we expand, whenever we allow for more good to flow into our lives, we are affecting the whole. So we are contributing, we are participating in the global unfoldment that is happening, the global transformation that is happening. But if we are turning our attention more towards what we don't wish to experience, if we are continuously giving ourselves permission or allowing the social media or the news broadcasts or the newspapers or whatever it is that we get our news, which is not really the news, it's merely the olds being blasted into our faces, in our faces. But if we are letting the world move us, if we are turning our attention more towards conditions and circumstances, judging by appearances, allowing the conditions and circumstances, the current conditions and circumstances, to dictate what we think and how we feel, then we're of no good. Then we're of no use to the vision that we have caught for ourselves or for the world. But we need to move ourselves into the feeling tone, and as I like to say, the feeling tone that all is well. We need to be that feeling tone. We need to be like, was it Mahatma Gandhi or someone who said, be the change we wish to be? And we need to be it within. We need to feel it first. We need to feel that we are moving and living in a world where all needs are met. We need to feel that whatever our visions we have for ourselves, be it a vision around abundance, be it a vision around divine and perfect health, be it a vision around a different job or a different kind of line of work, or a new relationship, whatever, we need to feel that it is done. It is done in the infinite mind. Every single possibility already exists. So the vision that we have caught for ourselves, we did not create it. We did not come up with it. We merely caught it. It was planted within our consciousness. So it's already done. And we need to move ourselves into the feeling tone. We need to release and let go of the worries, the fears, the doubts where manifestation is concerned. We need to release and let go of the resistance toward that which is still outpicturing itself in our lives and in our experiences. Because the experiences that we're having now, they are like a blast from the past. That which is coming up now in the world, they are not necessarily a perfect image or a perfect reflection of the current state of consciousness. But there is a delay. So what is coming up now is a mirrored reflection of the consciousness that we have had as a collective, as individuals. So looking at the conditions and circumstances is merely looking backwards. It is merely looking into the past and judging by that. And so as we move ourselves into the feeling tone that all is well, or that the good that we desire, this world, this new world, this beautiful, fair world where all needs are met and everybody gets to be treated fairly and gets to be enjoyed and all of that, we need to move into we need to be in the feeling that this is so. So be it. So be it. So be it doesn't merely point to the fact that it already is, but it also points to that we need to embody it before we see it. Even before the manifestation happens, we need to have moved ourselves into the vibrational alignment that it is happening, that it is done, that it is happening now, and that it is happening, that perfect unfoldment is always happening. So this is all inner work. This is all done in consciousness, in our minds, through us becoming aware, witnessing and observing the stories that we buy into, that we are being hijacked by, moment to moment. Not only once a day, but as often as possible. Us coming to full stop, just turning within. What is it that I'm listening to in my mind right now? What are the stories? What are the thought forms? What is the content that is flowing through my mind? And becoming aware, and then asking ourselves, and we're jumping ahead a little bit. These questions are usually coming up at the end of these talks and messages, but asking ourselves, this that I'm listening to, these stories, these beliefs, these thoughts, these judgments, these opinions, this what I'm turning my attention to right now, Is this in alignment with what I wish to experience? And if we become aware that we are hanging out in the lower vibrations, fear, worry, doubt, resistance, animosity, jealousy, envy, whatever the case may be, that's an invitation for us to make a new choice, to turn our attention away from whatever it is that we're having our attention turned toward. We need to be it. We need to embody it. We need to be it in the feeling. We need to take on and carry the feeling tone that it is done, the feeling tone of joy, the feeling tone of peace. If we don't choose it now, who's going to choose it? No one else is going to choose it for us. And if we're waiting for the world and for external conditions to be what we want them to be before we choose joy, before we choose harmony, before we choose abundance, before we choose health, before we choose love, that's putting the cart before the horse. That's getting it all backwards. Consciousness always precedes form. Whatever we turn our attention to the most, whatever we talk about the most, whatever we think about the most, whatever we feel about the most. And once again, it's a strong emphasis on what we feel. Whatever we feel the most, that is what we're calling forth. And that's not even accurate. That is what we are allowing to emerge. We're not calling it forth from somewhere outside of us, but we are allowing it to emerge from within, just like any seed in nature is allowing for the manifestation, for the unfoldment to happen from within. So a flower is not put together by the pieces, by the petals just coming flying through thin air and someone assembling these petals into the flower. But the flower emerges from within the seed, from within the stem, from within the seedling, and whatever stage of unfoldment the flower has come to or come into. So we need to be it, and then we need to choose from it. And what this means is that we do ask ourselves, now that I know that the good that I desire is already manifested, now that I know that all is well, now that I know that it is done, what choice can I make that is in alignment with this? If I absolutely know that all of my needs are met, what would I choose now? If I know that all of the resources was here, what would I choose now? If I know that my body is perfectly healthy, that it is a beautiful expression of divine and perfect health, wholeness, vitality, strength, what would I choose now? So we begin to train our minds to not give power to external conditions, not give power to current conditions, but we begin to train our minds, and we begin to train our attention muscle to choose from I lost it, to choose from beyond what our physical senses can pick up, what they can detect. Many of us are so run by our physical senses, what we can see, taste, touch, hear, smell, sense. Once again, that is relegating us, that is confining us, that is limiting us to what is currently outpicturing itself. But becoming conscious participants in the unfoldment, in the emergence, in the midwifing of the new, be it on a personal level, a collective level, a global level, or whatever, we need to go beyond our senses. Faith has been described as, and I always forget this description, this definition, but something along the lines that faith is the substance of knowing that the unseen is, and I'm just making this up. This is not at all how it goes. But this is the substance of it. Faith is is trusting more in the unseen, in that which is beyond what we know, than the realm of the known. So we need to choose from what we know in our hearts. We need to choose from what we know in faith atmosphere, rather than choosing from fear and worry and doubt. And yes, it is perfectly possible to choose in spite of fear. It is perfectly possible to choose to not give fear power over us. I'm not saying that it is easy. I'm saying that it is doable. It is possible to experience fear, to experience abundance, or not abundance, to experience lack and scarcity, to experience illness, and yet choose from something different. So we need to be it in consciousness. We need to be it in our feeling tone. We need to carry the feeling tone of it already being done. We need to be it in vibration, and then choose from that. Choose with spiritual discernment, but keep moving in the direction of that, trusting that perfect unfoldment is always happening, even if we cannot see it. And there's another statement that really fits into this conversation. It goes, evidence of absence is not absence of the other way around. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because we cannot see it, just because we cannot feel it, doesn't mean that it is not here, doesn't mean that it is not done, doesn't mean that it is not real. Just because we cannot see the sun on a cloudy day or at night doesn't mean that it's gone, that it has vanished. Just because we cannot see the stars on a sunny day doesn't mean that they're not there. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, but we need to move ourselves deep and steeped into trusting that even in the midst of this, all is well. Even in the midst of this, something wonderful is happening. Everything is working for the highest good. Perfect unfoldment is always happening, even if we do not see it. I mean, plant a seed in the soil, and it takes a while before the seedling is visible above ground. But even long before the seedling, before the shoot is visible, the unfoldment has already begun with the roots and with the shoot, even before it breaks the surface of the ground. So we need to be it, and we need to choose from it. And that's how we learn to master the art of manifestation. Not giving power to external conditions and circumstances, but giving full sovereignty to that which we cannot see, that which is beyond what we know currently. So this is the invitation for us today, to become mindful of what are we giving power to? What are we allowing to run us? Are we giving power more to what we can see, taste, sense, and feel, and taste and touch? I repeated some of those. Are we giving power more to our physical senses, to the surface appearance, to our current conditions and circumstances? Then we're giving power to our vision, to the feeling tone that it is already done, that it is happening now, that all is well, that perfect unfoldment is happening. So that's the invitation, to become aware. And then the questions are, now that I know that all is well, now that I know that it is already done, that it has already happened in the infinite mind, what choices can I make that are in alignment with that? How can I move steadily, steadfast in the direction of my vision, of my dream, of my goal, of my intention? Thank you so much for participating. This is all an inner work that we all are called to do, that we need to do, as we've talked about before. Getting on this ride of freedom, it is not, the fare is not cheap. It is definitely not for free. But this all comes at a cost, at a price. The price of releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves. and us giving power to something outside of ourselves, to worldly factors, common lowest denominator. That's something that we need to release and let go of. So once again, thank you so much. Please share. And until we meet again, I was going to say something else. I lost it. But until we meet again, I do bless our ways. I do bless our days, ways and days. In the full knowing that all is well, in the full knowing that something wonderful is happening, in the full knowing that everything is working for our highest good. Much love, many blessings. Namaste.